You think this is a feast? It's just a normal breakfast here. This is just $8, but we get more than 10 side dishes. You can ask for refills and there's no extra charge. Why would they do that? Are Korean restaurant owners angels or fools? One of the reasons why a Korean table has many side dishes is that Korea has many fermented foods like jang and kimchi, which can be stored and eaten for a long time. Another reason is the influence of Confucianism, which was the state philosophy in the past. It used to rule every detail of life, like what to eat or what to wear. According to it, the number of side dishes increases as your social status gets higher. We don't consciously believe in those rules anymore, but restaurants still do this to make you feel well treated. And now I'm leaking a bit of a state secret. In Korea, you get to enjoy many side dishes anywhere you go, but most Koreans would agree that in the southwest part of the country, more side dishes are served. Why? I hope today's trip provides an answer. Today, we are leaving for the region's food capital, Yeosu, on a very unique train, maybe a little more unique than you'd prefer. And we'll seek answers to the mysteries like why this city is considered not only a foodie city, but also a romantic city, or why Koreans don't pick up credit cards on the street. We'll also talk about the story of an unlucky Dutchman who was trapped in Korea for 13 years, why it was unfortunate for Korea too, and what lessons Koreans learned from the incident. To wrap up the trip, I'm planning to take Korea's most luxurious bus back home. Let's see what's waiting for us on the road. Here we are at Seoul Station. It's 7:20 in the morning. We can go straight to the train station from the subway, but why don't you go outside and take a look at the station building? I think exit 92 is the best spot to see the building. Now we are outside and we can see Seoul Station. This building on the right is the old station. It's about 100 years old. And this one on the left is the new station. It has been around for 20 years. There's the moon back there. It looks like that crane is trying to pick up the moon. Oh! Yeah, the moon's heavy. I thought so. If you look back for a second, we'll see this building. When people used the old station, this was the first thing they saw once they arrived in the capital. It was like a giant monster that made people from the countryside completely overwhelmed. Now we are inside the station. From inside the station, we can see Seoul Tower. It sits on a small mountain called Namsan, which is the physical center of Seoul. So if you spot this tower from somewhere in Seoul, you just know where the city center is. Our train is the S train at 8:04. It will take a little less than 5 hours. We still have about 20 minutes. I'm stopping by a convenience store to get some drinks and snacks. For me, this is the most exciting part of a train trip, buying snacks before we leave. I'm picking up a coffee too. The board says our S train is at platform 5. This big open station with a high ceiling is somehow liberating, isn't it? Our train is pulling in. Why don't we go see the face of the locomotive that will pull us all the way to the South Sea? It looks very experienced and solid. I'm counting on you today. Let's hope on. And this was the moment I realized something was wrong. This is actually an old train remodeled for sightseeing. Since high-speed trains were introduced long ago, most people in Korea take the KTX, the bullet train. So they took these old trains and turned them into tourist trains. But the inside was even older than the photos I saw. It was a bit dark with heavy colors. This is my seat. The train started. I'm the only one here. Unlike the bullet trains, this train stops at many small stations, so more people might get on as we go. Oh, we do have neighbors. The sun's rising in the east. Now we are crossing the Han River. When you cross the river for work or school, you sometimes see the sun rising or setting. It's a great view. People in Seoul consider the Han River a big free gift. Maybe it's the only thing that's free in this city. Other than, pressures. But don't you worry, we are breaking free from the city pressures, slowly but on schedule. That gold building over there is the 63 building. It used to be the tallest building in Korea. It's not the tallest anymore, but it's an iconic building that every Korean knows. Have you watched Squid Game? When the players were briefly back in the real world, Sang-woo gave Ali money for the bus because Ali was going to walk like 30 kilometers home. You can see this building in that scene. I'm gonna eat the snack I bought earlier. It looks hard, but it's actually a very soft cracker when you bite into it. It's not salty or sweet. Instead, it has a deep, oily, and savory flavor. It's a classic Korean snack that goes well with coffee. Now, why don't we look around the train? There's a hook for your coat. The seats are green, but the handles are red. It reminds me of Rudolph. Maybe it's Christmas all year round on this train. Then look at the ceiling. It's decorated like the ceiling of a traditional Korean house. Actually, they just used stickers. It's a bit strange, isn't it? I don't think they match the Christmas tree seats. And here, they even put brick patterned stickers on the window frames. It's a very confusing interior. I'm not sure what to make of this whole theme. Since it's an old train, it has wall outlets like the ones in your room. There's even a home air conditioner on the wall. At least there are shades like this. Shall we check out the back of the carriage? It's known as the highlight of this train. You don't need a separate ticket for these seats. It's just a space where anyone can sit and take a rest. I think they wanted groups to sit here and enjoy the trip together. But to be honest, I'm not sure if this is what travelers really want these days. Since there's no one else here, I have a great view of the scenery outside. It's a unique experience to have such a large space all to myself on a train. It's good for me, but I start worrying about the future of this train. Here's the restroom. It's an old restroom. It wasn't dirty, but it was rather dark. The seat looks different here. There's even a room like this. If many people sit here, there's no place to put your legs. Is this for lying down? The normal seats are taken. Let's check out the next carriage. This carriage is almost full. There are so many types of seats on this train. It's almost like a showroom for every chair ever existed in this land. This is the end of the train. You can see the view behind the train here. If this window had been clean, it could have been a surprise gift. But unfortunately, it's quite blurry. I'm going back to my seat now. Now I understand how this train survives, even with so many empty seats in my carriage. In Korea, as I said before, people still use these old trains to go to stations where the bullet train doesn't stop. These people are the ones who keep the line running. On these old trains, you can rotate the seats like this. I've got good memories of doing this while traveling with my family as a child.
And there you go.
I hope you also make many great travel memories with the people you love. The train is now entering a flat plain. There are many plains in the southwest part of Korea, so a lot of rice is grown here. The train has stopped for a moment. Let's get some fresh air. There's a river running along the railroad. It looks like a painting. We have arrived in Yeosu. It took 4 hours and 50 minutes. Actually, if you take the bullet train, it only takes 3 hours and 10 minutes. The price of this train is 41,100 won, which is a bit cheaper than the bullet train's 47,500 won. But it takes an extra 1 hour and 30 minutes, and the interior, the theme, is, well, I should say it's quite tacky. I think I'll just take the bullet train next time. Yeosu is known as the capital of food in Korea. According to a survey, it was chosen as the city with the best variety of food. Personally, whenever I visit Yeosu, I always eat Yeosu. That's gonna be the lunch today. I'm walking to the bus stop now. I'm at the Yeosu restaurant now, but later I regretted sitting in this spot. You'll find out why shortly. This is dried squid. It's usually a bit sweet and a bit spicy. This is cabbage mixed with soybean paste. This is Gat-kimchi, which is very famous in this region. You know, kimchi is not just the one that you know. There's so many kinds of kimchi. You use scissors to make it bite-sized. This is radish kimchi, and you cut this one too. This is the Yeosu. It has a deep flavor. Eel can be oily, but these various vegetables and spices balance it out. Later, I realized that the eels behind me were watching me eat. After eating, I'm headed to my stay. I walk along the sea and feel the atmosphere of the port. This is a model for what is called a Geobukseon or turtle ship. About 400 years ago, when Japan invaded Korea, they had muskets, but Korea was not prepared for that. However, a brilliant admiral, built a ship with a bulletproof cover and sent the Japanese Navy straight down to meet the Dragon King. It's known that more than 30,000 sailors went down, so the Dragon King's office must have been extremely busy. He's highly respected in Korea, so there's a statue of him in the middle of Seoul. And you can see the monuments honoring him all along the southern coast. My room is not a sea view, but a wall view. But the wall is far enough, so I get some sky here. The bathroom and shower are clean too. I like it here. I fell asleep for a moment. Then I rushed out. Why? I went up to the rooftop. For a rooftop Korean moment. I missed the sunset. But it's still pretty. The houses on the hill are beautiful too. They decorated this rooftop with nice lights, so I think this place also looks pretty from far away. This seems like a good place to talk about why Yeosu is considered a romantic city. In Yeosu, there are many places with the word romantic. In 2012, a singer released a song called Yeosu Night Sea, and it became a mega hit. Since then, whenever young people hear the word Yeosu, they automatically think of the night sea, and the image of a romantic city was formed. Compared to the past, especially during the Expo, its popularity among Koreans has dropped quite a bit. These days, Koreans often travel to Japan or Vietnam instead. However, Yeosu is still strongly associated with the night sea. I'm gonna have dinner. This time, I'm going to an Indonesian restaurant. On the wall, it says CNN picked rendang as the best food in the world and nasi goreng as the second. So, of course, I'm ordering rendang. I like foreign food, especially when it's made by real people from that country. Indonesian restaurants are extremely hard to find in Korea, so if I spot a fine one nearby on Google Maps, I always go and try it. It also has a port and industrial complexes nearby, so there seem to be many people from Indonesia. Thanks to them, Koreans here can enjoy authentic Indonesian food. In the past, it was very hard to find authentic foreign food in local cities. Thanks to migrant workers, foreign cultures and Korean culture are meeting in every corner of the country. I'm rushing out once again. I'm not checking out. It's just past 7. I'm heading for breakfast. Why am I rushing like this? It's to experience the essence of this foodie city. Yeosu has a port, but as we saw yesterday, the southwest part of Korea also produces a lot of rice. Since old times, this area has been rich both in crops and seafood, so the food culture became very developed. We'll see this soon at our breakfast place. I ordered Baekban, the only menu here. Baekban means white rice.
감사합니다.
Of course, they don't just give you white rice. It's more like saying, let me take care of the rest, except the rice. This is Kkotge-tang. It has crab and soybean paste, and the taste is very deep. Here is spicy marinated crab, and there's soy sauce marinated crab. These crabs are different kinds. We also have pork, fish, and quail eggs. These are all protein sources. It's like doing a roll call for proteins from the sky, the land, and the sea. Since we are in Yeosu, we naturally have Gat-kimchi. There are also many other kinds of kimchi here. Why don't we count how many crabs are here?
1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got, I think 5.
There are at least 5. This is also fish. I ordered another bowl of rice. It cost an extra 1,000 won. There's still so many side dishes left here. Still a long way to go. Why are there so many side dishes? We already talked about how this region has plenty of resources and how Confucianism affected the number of side dishes. But there's another influence of this philosophy. It looked down on making money, much like how it was seen in medieval Christianity. Until recently, people here thought it was not good to make too much profit from running a restaurant. This culture will slowly disappear. I hope not. So don't wait until it's too late. I just checked out. I stayed at a place called Key West. I chose it because it has good ratings on Google Maps. And I was happy with it. It was clean, comfortable, and the location was good. If I come back next time, not a wall view. I want to stay in a room with an ocean view. While I was checking out, I peeked inside these rooms, and they looked really good. We are heading to the last stop of the trip, the Hamel Lighthouse. Hamel was a Dutchman who drifted to Korea while sailing from Taiwan to Japan. Poor Hamel. Korea at the time was very closed. It was even called the Hermit Kingdom. And we didn't want the outside world to know much about us. So the Dutchman was kept in Korea. It took them 13 years to finally escape Korea. Since the accident happened during his business trip, Hamel wrote a journal about what happened during that time to ask for his unpaid wages. Naturally, Hamel's journal focuses on his suffering in Korea. After all, he was writing this to prove his loss. Even when he mentions some good memories, he hurriedly returns to another episode of hardship. But even so, his journal is still widely read in Korea today because it teaches us a lot about those times. Unfortunately for Korea, because the first European first-hand report was very negative and widely read, visitors in the late 19th and early 20th centuries had to spend a lot of ink writing. These people are not as bad as reported. It's the corrupt king and the elites that are bringing down the nation. Today, Koreans often talk about Hamel when we think about why Korea was so close to the New World back then. While Japan was learning about the New World through a place called Dejima, Korea kept its doors locked. Luckily, modern Koreans are very different. Koreans are curious about the world, study many foreign languages, and not afraid at all to question traditions and adopt new things. Maybe we've learned from history. You know, you can't go back and make a new start, but you can always learn and make a brand new ending. What matters is what we do now for the future. We've got some time before the bus, so I'm in a cafe. The Google ratings for this cafe were good, and the coffee was actually very good. Usually, I don't drink more than 1 cup, but at the moment, I was just too curious about the latte. You know, you do crazy things on a trip, so I did my crazy thing by ordering 1 more cup. I'm waiting for a bus to go to the bus terminal. But wait, what is that over there? It's a credit card. In Korea, you sometimes find credit cards on the street like this, but few people pick them up and use them. There are many reasons, but one reason is that you can't get away without getting caught. In Korea, living as a law-abiding citizen is the smartest way to live. You don't want to make your life any harder here. The bus driver's driving was very aggressive. It was as if he was training for his next race. Anyway, I'm finally at the bus terminal now. I'm glad to be here in one piece. I have some extra time, so I'm buying some snacks at this convenience store. My bus is here. 네, 서울이요. 감사합니다. Ooh, have a look. 2x1 configuration, and you have how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 7 rows, and this seat is mine. This seat looks amazing. There's plenty of leg room. The overhead space isn't very big, so only a small bag or a coat can fit inside. Some seats have a coat hook, but my seat doesn't. Instead, I have a big window. Since no one is sitting next to me right now, I'll just put my things here. There's a small folding tray in front of me. You can also charge your phone wirelessly here. This seat doesn't just lean back. It slides forward and becomes flat, so you can lie down comfortably. Well, I can't sleep anyway because of the coffee. But I'm on this high-end bus, so I feel like I'm losing money if I don't lie down completely. The bus stopped at a rest area. In Korea, we have rest areas on the highway. You can get gas, eat food, and get some rest here. They also help prevent drivers from falling asleep. Many Koreans have good memories of rest areas because of snacks like walnut cakes, which are pretty much only sold in rest areas. There's a monitor in front of me. It shows the remaining distance and time. I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to have a map like on a plane? Then I realized human greed, or my greed, has no limit. Just having this timer is already a huge step forward. Many parts of Korean highways have bus-only lanes. Often, cars are stuck in traffic while only buses are moving. This is a way to encourage people to use public transportation. I'm back in Seoul. Before I get off, let's take a look at the back of the bus. Here's an emergency exit. I've never been on a bus with an emergency exit door. Here is Express Bus Terminal. So here's my 3 takeaways from this trip. Yeosu was less crowded, but still beautiful, and the food was good. Maybe I should go again before they change their minds. Second, S-Train. Once is enough for me. I'm taking KTX next time. Third, you can change the past, but you can learn from it and try to make a change in the future.